Also, I want to let people know I'm actually giving the national team a break. It's been a lot on my body, it's been a lot on my head, mental upstairs. So I feel like I'm really gonna take a break and really focus on club football for now on.
Taking a break, disgruntled reggae boy star Leon Bailey has put it on Front Street that he's stepping away from the Jamaican national team setup to focus on his club career. Bailey says he was planning on taking a break from the national setup even before he was suspended by head coach Jaii Frais for the CONCACAF Nations League final stage, which begins with a semi-final clash against the USA tonight.
He said to me that he wasn't going to invite me to the next camp. But way before this happens, I always had it in my head that, yo, it's getting too much on my plate when it comes to the national team. And I was really going to take a break from it. And then that just tip off everything. For him to look upon me and tell me, say, him not invite me to the next camp, I felt that was really harsh. And it just said to me, say, like, it's me being in the national team right now, it drained my energy a lot every time I need to go to the national team, because there's so much things that happen to the national team that I don't really share. As I say, I don't really talk on anything about.
Bailey also shared his disappointment with what he described as an unprofessional national setup.
Coming with the national team, it's very unprofessional, bro. When I say unprofessional, it's ways where you just can't imagine. You're turning up, the equipments are not, you don't have equipments for you.
Like in the 70s,
like you go on the only have a one shirt for you, have to find a shots, but we are just man I turn up the game and you see a woman shirt, it's a woman shirt then print off him wear. Bro, in terms of travels and all that thing, it's just ridiculous, bro. It's a lot. And whenever I'm there, bro, it's just like they don't know how to operate, and I'm not expecting them to know all these things. But me is not like other normal player that's there, bro. Like, Jamaica can't really give me no exposure. And I two things alone I ask them for, and every time is I cannot get this. You have man a book flight for me, and that send me from England to Jamaica. I need to go from England to Jamaica, and I send economy flight for travel with 3 different stops. When there's 2 things alone I ask for. I don't ask for P and none of them something, bro. 2 things alone I ask for.
Just make sure
I have a proper flight, and make sure I have a room by myself.
Yeah.
That's all. I can't get that, bro. And it's just like, what am I here doing for?
All right, so Ricardo, of course, on the Let's Be Honest podcast, it was a really, really long interview. It has a lot to unpack. And I think I'm going to start our discussion this afternoon by the first soundbite that we played, right? Where he basically said that Coach Jaii Frais not inviting him into the camp was harsh. He found that to be very harsh. And I'd love this afternoon for you to share what you thought about it, because I think I spoke to Lance, I did, about this when Jaii Frais did his press conference and he gave the reasoning for Leon Bailey's exclusion. I'll just remind the viewers, because Lance is not here. Lance had basically said that, he felt that rules are rules and it doesn't matter who the players are. I sort of agreed as well, because if we have a rule and, you want the other players to follow, especially because Leon Bailey is a star. He's really good at what he does. You want to just set an example. So we had said that. What's your take, Ricardo, on coach's decision to exclude Leon Bailey for breaking curfew?
Well, I believe in discipline.
Yeah.
So I will start there. And from that standpoint, if you have a player or players who are breaking the rules, then they should be dealt with accordingly. Now, I don't want to go too much into this, because just based off everything that I'm picking up, listening to Craig Butler, listening to Leon Bailey himself, there seems to be more to this story than Leon Bailey just broke curfew.
Okay.
And so at this stage, I would really like to hear from the coach, Jaii Grimson, on some of those. I mean, understandably, the Nations League final stage is happening over the next 3 or 4 days, and so his focus is going to be there. And like he has said in several interviews that he has done, Mariah, he does not want to be speaking to these issues at this stage.
Yes.
Because he wants to focus on the national team, first of all, trying to get to the Nations League final, ultimately trying to win it. And if not win it, then they will still have a second match on Sunday, which will be a third-place playoff. And I can understand that the focus is going to be there. Leon Bailey admitted in the interview today that he did break curfew.
Yeah.
And so we can't go around that. But I'm also starting to wonder if there are some other issues that led to him breaking the curfew, or if Leon Bailey is just generally an indisciplined player, especially within the national setup. Now, if it is the latter, that he is just an indisciplined player who is going out and partying late at night in the pool at the hotel where they are staying, or at a club which is close by the hotel that they are staying, then coach got it right in saying that we have to put a stop to this. And the way I see it is that if the decision is that he should not be part of this camp, then I have no issues with that. Let me also say, Mariah, because a lot of individuals have been saying, well, it is CONCACAF Nations League. It's a fantastic opportunity for Jamaica to win the tournament. That may be true. But you also have to think about the long-term development of the squad that Jaii Grimson is trying to build. The World Cup qualifying, Copa America, will be this summer. World Cup qualifying starts this summer. And I think it is important to go into those tournaments very clear as to what is expected of each and every player, and not just with their ability on the field of play, but with how they conduct themselves when they are part of the national setup. And so from that standpoint, I think it is always important to send a strong message in these situations, especially when you have more important assignments on the horizon.
Yeah. And Ricardo, the next thing we're going to have to touch on is the fact that Leon continuously stressed about the unprofessional national setup. He used the example of showing up, well, first of all, him having to book his own flights, not getting proper gear to play in, and so many other issues, because he explained about not even taking payment to play, all these different things. Again, we don't know what really goes down behind the scenes, what arrangement Leon Bailey has with the JFF, and of course, all the different nitty-gritty behind the scenes. But we are, of course, analyzing what he said in an interview, which he is very aware will make headlines, will be everywhere. And he spoke to it over and over that he's tired of this unprofessional setup.
Mariah, I'm conflicted about how to feel about this Leon Bailey interview as a whole. Now, we just dissected a very specific part of the interview where he spoke about his suspension from the Nations League final stage camp. But I am conflicted about the interview as a whole, and I tell you why. One is because I know that a lot of the things Leon Bailey is saying are true. A lot of the struggles that he points to exists in real life.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I won't pretend to put myself in the shoes of Leon Bailey in no way, shape, or form. I don't understand, well, I can't say I know exactly what he's feeling within the setup and what is happening around him. Now he is expressing all of that at this stage. But also, when I listen to that interview, Mariah, there are so many things that rubbed me the wrong way.
Tell me.
And so I am trying to find that balance between understanding the struggles of Leon Bailey and at the same time, listening to a young man who I am not sure gets it 100%. I want us to play a clip in full where he speaks to the national program and what playing for Jamaica may or may not be able to do for him. And this was probably the part that knocked me over.
Okay, do we have it?
Yeah, let's take that first of all before I go any further.
Okay.
Jamaica national team is not doing anything for me, you know. Jamaica national team can't really do much for me, you know. And reason why I say that Jamaica national team cannot give me exposure, you know, bro. Jamaica playing for the national team now gonna make Real Madrid call me, you know. And me a shine light on the national team basically, you know. Playing overseas and repping as a Jamaican all the time, you know, bro. People know Leon Bailey everywhere in the world, you know, bro. Me don't remember the last place me ever go. And somebody don't know me. You understand what I say? So, Jamaica not paying us. Jamaica can't really give me no exposure. And I two things alone I ask them for. And every time is I cannot get this. You have man a book flight for me and that send me from England to Jamaica. I need to go from England to Jamaica. I send economy flight for travel with 3 different stops. When there's 2 things alone I ask for. I don't ask for paying none of them somebody, bro.
So it is clear that there are real issues there. We've heard from the Reggae Girls. We've seen it with national youth teams in terms of the administrative bonders on the part of the Jamaica Football Federation and how a lot of these things have not been handled well over time. But at the same time, I listened to Leon Bailey, and I hope I got this wrong, but I felt as if I was listening to a selfish, self-centered individual who is all about me, who is all about I, rather than the team.
But then, Ricardo, he would say his comment that would be because he did speak about it in the interview, right?
Yes.
He said that, you know, whenever they had to pay people, he would always be the first one to help in these payments.
Well, he spoke about having to help staff or whatever the case might be.
So, you know, that might be
I
his
would like more details on that, Mariah, because I don't think, and knowing the Jamaican landscape, and again, I don't know the details of this, but Leon Bailey is a superstar player who is playing in England and who people think is making a lot of money. I mean, Mariah, must be honest, there's nowhere I go in this country called Jamaica where people are not asking me for money just for the fact that I am on television. And I don't suspect that it would be different with Leon Bailey. Now, as I said, I understand that there are clear issues that he points to. But I have a problem when you start saying, and this is what I got from what he was saying, I am a superstar. I am the #1 player. I am the best. I don't need Jamaica. Jamaica is foolishness. So why am I not getting what I'm supposed to get? What I would like to hear, if you are presenting yourself as an advocate, as someone who is trying to help build the football, what I would like to hear is that you're coming forward and you are saying that as a unit, we need these things. As a unit, this needs to happen for us. Not me, Leon Bailey, the superstar player, the best player in the team, the one who is going to change Jamaica's football. And all of that may well be true, Mariah, but I just think when you are the one who is saying it in that way, it is going to rub people the wrong way. And therefore, you cannot be surprised when the masses don't end up on your side when you come across sounding like that. And maybe he didn't mean to come across sounding like that, because I want to be clear. I don't want to come on this show and bash Leon Bailey in any way, shape, or form. I think Leon Bailey is very good for Jamaica's football. I have said it on this show even before he started playing brilliantly in the English Premier League for Aston Villa, that I think he's been treated harshly by the fans. Yes, I know that he missed a few goals in the Canada tie in the Nations League, but I think Leon Bailey's overall work rate and his asset to the Reggae Boys team is more than just his ability to score goals. And I love when Leon Bailey is in that setup. So let me get that out of the way. I don't want to bash Leon Bailey, but I also just did not like the tone that I got from him in that interview, and it left me really, really disappointed. I understand there are issues, Mariah, don't get me wrong. It is clear there are issues, but I am also sure that the issues that are there are not specific to only Leon Bailey, that other players face it as well. And so if you're going to be an advocate, step forward and advocate for the entire unit and not me, the superstar player.
Yeah, and Ricardo, now the decision that he has made to take a break from the national team, to step away from the setup, I think personally can only hurt the football because, you know, he has adopted a different role, and he spoke about that as well in the interview, that he doesn't come to this setup to, of course, play badly. Nobody goes on to do something they love and just wants to play badly, right? He spoke about the pitches, he spoke about all those different things that he had to deal with. Now, taking a step back from the national team and claiming that you have so much love for your country and for the football, what does that say to you?
Here's what I'll say, Mariah. First of all, and again, a lot of the things that Leon Bailey said are true, even in relation to the pitches and how it impacts his game. No doubt about it. Having said that, now, here's the thing, Mariah. I am also an advocate that you should take care of your mental well-being.
Yes.
And if it is that being in the national setup has taken such a toll on Leon Bailey, and listening to him in that interview, I genuinely believe it has taken a toll on him.
He spoke about the injuries.
The injuries, the lack of, I don't want to say the lack of quality performances, but the performances maybe not up to the standard that he would expect of himself, which I think he pretty much admitted, and what the fans would expect. That can take a toll. So I understand all of that coming from Leon Bailey, and all of it is true. And if it is taking such a toll on you, I have absolutely no issues with you taking this break from the national team. Go and work out whatever it is that you need to work out for your own mental well-being. He spoke to it. He spoke to it also taking a physical toll on his body. So if you feel that you need this rest and it is going to make you better, then go and take the rest. No, I wish it was expressed in a different way.
I think your issue is the tone.
I really do wish it was expressed in a different way, but it came across as a spoiled child who did not get what he wanted from his parents and therefore is lashing out. In this case, was suspended by the national team and is therefore lashing out, because I think part of what Leon Bailey is feeling, and again, Mariah, I understand a lot of this, you know, I really do understand a lot of this, because I think part of what he's feeling is that he has given a lot to the national, in his estimation, he has given a lot to the national program. He has a very good relationship with Coach Heimerl Grimson, and therefore, from that standpoint, this is not the way he should be treated. Yeah. He also feels that as the star player in the setup, he should be getting certain privileges that he might not be getting. In fact, some of them are not even privileges, because, by the way, I don't think grown men, even in that team setup, should be sharing hotel rooms.
Yeah,
to be honest, I think they should be given their individual hotel rooms. So I don't think that is an unfair ask
and even the flight,
from Leon Bailey. Yeah,
if
and
I'm
even
being
the
honest,
flights.
because even with me, when I'm flying a certain distance, like it's just not okay for me.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it. Remember, he's accustomed. And the thing is, sometimes you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. Just because, you know, remember, he's
sometimes
accustomed to this.
it might not be that easy, though, to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
But you can't be like, for me, okay, the flight thing, I get it. Because Ricardo, remember, he's accustomed to a certain type.
And I'm not saying no, Mariah. I'm saying I understand a lot of that. I understand that there are actual issues But as I said, part of the issue for me, one, the tone and this very individualistic way of bringing the issues across as if Leon Bailey is the only one that has these issues within the national setup. And he did say that if others have issues, that they should step up and speak and they have to do what they have to do for them. And that is also understandable. But at the end of the day, I just feel that if you're going to be an advocate for a cause, it cannot be about you and just you alone. And so that was the disappointment for me. But again, I am really conflicted about this. And, you know, I learned a long time ago, Mariah, that a lot of things in life are not black and white.
Never.
And this one is definitely not black and white. There are so many things involved with this that are not always easy to understand. And especially when you have not walked a particular path, it becomes even more difficult to understand. But I really do believe that the way that this entire interview came across will do more damage to Leon Bailey, the individual, the product, the player, than it will do for even the Jamaica Football Federation, who many fans across the world are already upset and disgruntled with. But I suspect we're going to talk so much more about this. I don't suspect that this will end here. I know for a fact I have so many questions for Heimerel Grimson when he is ready to respond to them, when the Nations League final stage has concluded. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say on a number of these issues. And one of the things I have always respected with Heimerel Grimson is that, at least from my standpoint, I always get the impression that he is being as honest as he can be with the public.
I like that too, because I had him on, in case you missed it, a sit down for almost an hour. And I told him, I said, you know, initially when I saw you at these games, well, whenever you lose, you always came across to me as grumpy. So I used to be like, what's up with coach? And then I got to know him, Ricardo, and yes, I have to agree with your sentiments. He's very open. You ask a question, he's going to answer as much as he can. So, all right, we're going to take a break now. Remember, we have CONCACAF Nations League on the channel, and we're going to be leaving you 5 minutes earlier for that match later this evening. Jamaica is getting ready for that match, and of course, I really, really hope that they do well for the country and, of course, the entire Caribbean who'll be rooting on. We're going to take a quick break and come back. A lot more here on the SportsMax Zone.